Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talk of the Town's official mock draft. I'm your host, Peyton Warnock, and for my returning viewers, you're going to notice a new face. Please welcome Nick Mosier, who will be filling in for Jalen today. Appreciate you. Welcome to the show, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Today's mock draft, Mosier and I will be alternating the first 14 picks. And I am going to be taking the first pick for the Atlanta Hawks. Me and Mosier are in agreement. We're going to be taking Alex Sarr with the first pick. The number one thing you're going to notice about him is that he's 7'2". When you look at the natural gifts that Sarr has, it's a perfect pair for Trae Young, who needs more help around him. He's never played with an all-star, and that's a guy who's led a team to a conference final. When I watch Alex Sarr, this dude kind of looks like a very, very young Giannis. Very young.
Okay.
Let me not say he looks like Giannis, period. Okay. But he looks like a,
I have another one. It might be a little shocking, and I'm not saying he is this guy. He's very Anthony Davis-ish. Okay. He's got the guard tools in a 7-foot body, which is absolutely makes no sense.
I'm glad you said guard skills, because that was one of the things I wanted to make note of, is that he's like very, very fluid bringing the ball up the floor.
It's insane. This dude's the biggest person on the court, and he looks like the best guard on the court.
He is fast bringing the ball up the floor. I'm watching him, like I'm shocked with how fast a 7'2" guy's bringing the ball up the floor, and he's not ridiculously skinny either. I mean, he looks it, but weight wise, he's not ridiculously skinny.
He looks like a man. Like, he could put 100%. On more muscle, but he doesn't look like these dudes that come in the tall link like Chet. Chet needs to eat a little bit more.
100%.
This dude Sarr is out in France eating croissants. He's eating escargot. I don't know what is going on in France with these aliens. I mean, the baguettes. I don't know what they're building in France. Shout out France, by the way.
100%. One of the things people say about this draft class is that it's a weak class, and they go, the number one pick, he only averaged 9-something points per game. I hear that, but let's also talk about per 36, where you look at those numbers, it goes to 29 rebounds and almost 3 blocks. Yep. So you give this guy a full game, especially next to a guy who could pass like Trae Young. I think that's a great impact for a team that is looking to make the playoffs next year. Washington Wizards on the clock, Moj. Go ahead.
With the Washington Wizards, an absolute dump fire over there. I don't know what's good in DC. It's a little bit sleepy in Washington. You got Jordan Poole just hooping for the daddies. He does not care.
100%.
He'll put up 45 shots per game. You got Kyle Kuzma. He didn't want to go to the Mavericks because he didn't think they were a contender. I don't know what's going on. So my number 2 pick is another French alien. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. There's a factory in the Eiffel Tower with all these light-skinned Frenchmen. I have Zachary Richer. He's a 6'9" small forward. I mean, once again, like, you got these tall, athletic, freak forwards now. His three-point percentage was 40% over there. So I don't know if that's going to necessarily, if he can sustain that in the NBA. It would be great if he can. I mean, the Wizards don't really have, Tyus Jones is their point guard. But if this dude can just catch the ball and shoot, they're going to be pretty good. He's probably going to put up, I'd say, at least double digits scoring. Yeah. He's going to play out on the wing. I don't think he's going to handle the ball too much. I mean, 6'9", he's going to get his boards. But if he could just get up the court and transition and look for open space, open shots, the guy's going to do his job in the NBA. The NBA right now is all about, you put up 63 pointers a game as a team. Yeah, exactly. They don't care. It's all analytics.
Something about Richer, which I feel like is important for Washington, is he's fairly well-rounded for a 19-year-old. Like, they don't have anybody that's guarding. They're not guarding anybody. As a 19-year-old, like, Richer is probably getting the toughest assignment if he's starting for Washington. If not the first toughest assignment, he's getting the second toughest assignment. Yeah. At 6'9", they're going to put him 1 through 4, and he's going to have to guard. Well, while we're on the topic of all-around players, I'm going to go ahead with the Houston Rockets on the clock at number 3, and I'm going to take the best American all-around player in the draft. Out of UConn, Stephon Castle at number 3. Physically gifted.
Oh, he's a man.
As a young guard, wing, wherever you want to put him, he's 6'6". He's yoked. He's absolutely yoked.
That's a man.
He could guard 1, 2, 3, maybe a small power forward as well. He can get minutes at the point, the 2, the 3. He can lead a big lineup at the point guard, or he could play the 3 with a small ball lineup. Got to be the best perimeter defender.
Oh yeah, he's ferocious. He'll pick you up on the perimeter and then You can try to get to the paint. You can try to
It's
get to
gonna
the
be
rim. He's right
miserable.
there. He's right
It's
in
gonna
your
be
face.
miserable.
No, I like Kessel. He's
Like-
very good. I think he's one of the best players.
He played through contact at the rim. He also has great touch.
Oh yeah.
Good playmaker, even though he wasn't playing the point most of the time. Obviously,
Some
like
of
I
his passes
said,
in the tournament were
ridiculous.
insane when he's getting to the rack. Yeah.
Like I said, his downside is shooting, but when you've got sharpshooters like Spencer and Carabin on the floor, that wasn't the game he needed to play. You're drafting him because he's a versatile player who could play multiple positions. He could guard the best player every night. Watch Stephon Castle, everybody. If you thinking that's too high, watch. Just watch.
He's
Remember
special,
this.
honestly.
San Antonio Spurs on the clock.
So at number
Take it away,
4,
Raj.
San Antonio Spurs. They need a point guard. They have another. Once again, I keep saying because this is what the world is now. A French alien, light skin, Eiffel Tower. And you know the Spurs. You know Pop likes Europeans. I got Nikola Topic.
Yeah.
From Serbia,
I like
6'6".
I like
He's
that.
pretty big. He's crafty. He's not fast. He's like one of these dudes that you see at the Y. Like you could tell they played back in the day. When basketball was different, it wasn't this AAU nonsense. Not super quick, but he beats his man off the dribble. Gets to the rim. He's a great finisher.
Yep.
Like I said, he's 6'6". He's 6'6". He's pretty big, so he can fight through the trees down low if he needs to. He's also a great facilitator. He's got good vision. He's gonna pass the ball. I mean, he's a point guard, so that's essential for the position.
You would think, except the Spurs ain't got somebody that's
Oh,
passing
yeah,
the ball.
they got Jeremy Sohan at point,
Stop
which
it.
I don't understand. This
Stop
dude will go into the locker room with pink hair,
Stop it.
comes out with teal hair. I don't know what's going on with that. They didn't have a point guard all year.
The question mark with him is the competition he played against, but that was a question for the 3 best players in the world right now.
They just need somebody to get the damn ball. Get the damn ball to Victor Wembanyama and please get out of the way. And if he's
100%,
off,
I agree.
he can facilitate to the other players. I mean, they can probably use a couple more shooters, but you get a point guard with Wemby.
Listen, man, you got that 8th pick coming up, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Detroit Pistons on the clock.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah, this one might surprise some people, but when I read this player's scouting report, it says high motor, plays hard. So I want a guy with a high motor in the Motor City. I want Ron Holland going to Detroit.
I like Big Ron.
You already kinda took your guards for the future. Now, when I'm looking at my draft board here, it says team needs point guard for Detroit. Like, if Cade's the guy, you took him number 1. You got to see it through.
And they're not doing help defense. They're not getting boards, not hustling. So they got to figure it out. The building's empty every night.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
I'm glad you're talking about not guarding and not getting rebounds, because you'll never guess what the 2 things Ron Holland does the best are.
Oh, yeah,
You'll never guess.
Oh, yeah.
So
defensively stout.
Yeah, and that's a guy you can put on, again, 1 through 4. Probably going to get small ball 4 minutes in this current NBA. He's a decent spot-up shooter. I don't trust it yet, but we'll see how it can translate. He's not much of a shot creator, but this is a guy that brings the other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You have nothing on Detroit. You need a guy like this, because clearly your offensive-minded players have not panned out so far. Ron Holland, all-around player, high energy. That's what I think Detroit is lacking the most out of all the things that they're lacking. So Ron Holland, number 5. The Charlotte Hornets are on the clock.
The Charlotte Hornets, you want to talk about AAU basketball in the NBA? They want to be rappers, and they want to show off their drip on IG and for the camera on the walk-ins. I mean, LaMelo, once he's in the lineup, he's been hurt. I mean, his ankle's been barking. I don't know what's good with him. He's running people over out of when he's driving out of the arena. I don't know what's good with him. But my pick for the Hornets, I got Reed Shepherd. I mean, he's not really a defensive player. I think they need another guard in there to shoot the ball. I mean, with LaMelo, he's a great facilitator. LaMelo can shoot the 3. He's going to facilitate. LaMelo can slash. Reed Shepherd is a lights-out sniper. 52% from 3.
Yeah.
That is absolutely diabolical. The NBA, how the NBA is going in these times, in this day and age, you have a sniper that you can just slot in there next to a facilitator. That's instant offense, automatic points. As long as he's on, automatic points.
All right, next up, we got the Portland Trailblazers on the clock. This is another question mark for a lot of people, but I'm going to take Matas Buzelis. Gigantic wing. 6'10", can be listed shooting guard, small forward, power forward. Very, very well-rounded skill set on offense. He's a great team defender. I would say on ball, on the perimeter, he's not great, but he can recover, he can rotate, he can help, scramble drill, all that. So I think on a team that's a project right now, like Portland, you got Scoot, who kind of underperformed. But, like, you have a chance to build a good roster, so take a guy who's versatile with his skill set. That's my thought with Buzelis going 7.
Buzelis, I've been watching some of his clips too. I mean, he gets the boards and he pushes. He either passes to an outlet and pushes up the floor. He can dribble a little bit too, but his main thing is he gets the board, outlet, pushes up the floor. He can catch lobs.
Yeah.
I mean, he can take it himself. He can go over the trees. I mean, he's 6'9", so.
Yeah.
One thing too, I think he could be a good playmaker if he's gonna slash and catch lobs. I mean, I think the defense is gonna collapse. He can kick out. I mean, Scoot's gonna have to figure it out, or they're gonna have to take that nickname away. I don't even know what Scoot's real name is.
I have no idea.
But he's not scooting around the floor at a high level. So if he's not gonna figure it out, they got to take the Scoot nickname away.
Coming in at number 8, San Antonio Spurs back on the clock. Let's see who we
number
compare.
8. He's already been selected. I had Stephon Castle going here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Salaun. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
The other French dude. I mean, another.
Oh no!
It's another 6'9", light skin, baguette clone. I think it's fluid with Wemby. He's very athletic. He's aggressive. He's a great defender. He can slash. He get to the rim. He's finishing over the big guys. This guy, they're saying. I was reading a couple articles. They're saying he could be more well-rounded than like Richeche. They're saying he's like a smaller version of Sarr with the skills, but he's got like the Richeche shooting. So he's a 2-1.
I do like that pick. When talking upside, that guy's probably top of the list in terms of all these players in the draft. So
give Pop a Project European.
I like that.
Turn him into Hall of Famer, maybe.
Coming in at number 9, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. So I wanna bounce this off of you first. What would you consider Jaren Jackson Jr.'s position to be?
I think he's more of a power forward, to be honest with you.
I agree with that. I think his jaw,
he's too athletic to stay just in the middle.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Donovan Clingan here to put 2 massive towers in the middle for Memphis. He really is the ultimate paint beast you're gonna get in this class. He's a deterrent around the rim, because half the time people don't even want to go in there because he's there. And he still averaged 2.5 blocks per game in only 24 minutes. You got a guy like Jaren who can stretch the floor a little bit. I mean, not super consistently, but you have to guard Jaren on the 3-point line.
He gets out there, yeah.
So he has good touch around the basket. He's got good footwork around the basket. He's got good facilitating abilities. Don't be fooled by the 1.5, 2 assists per game. Right now, number 1 interior center in the draft. I think that's really going to be a boost for Memphis's defense after losing Brooks, because now you got 2 anchors in the middle.
One thing with Clingan, though, I'm not even trying to knock him. He's big, but he's not going to like bully you around. Because I think in high school, he didn't have to bully anybody. He was just catching the ball and like
he was playing Peyton Warnock, bro. I don't know.
You got a kid that's 6'1", 6'2", a 6'1", 6'2" center. We don't produce these like these French ogres. We don't have that. We produce like a hardworking, like a landscaping kid that's gonna play center after school. But I think he'll be fine. He's gonna block a bunch, especially next to Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, you're not going in there.
They're both gonna be just playing volleyball in there.
Now, going from the worst uniforms in the NBA to probably the best uniforms, the Utah Jazz are on the clock at number 10.
At this point, I have all guards going after this, but honestly, I can move up. Jacoby Walter, you can't go wrong. He's another sharpshooter.
Yeah.
He's going to catch and shoot. He's a combo guard. Great perimeter defender. He's tenacious. You can't go wrong with a 3-and-D guy in the league. He's not going to try to go for 30, 40. He's not going to ball hog. So I don't think the Utah Jazz would go wrong picking a sharpshooting combo guard, honestly, that can play defense.
I have Chicago up 11th. I think with Clingan being off the board, it would probably be traded for Chicago, but I'm not gonna go through all the hula hoops to see where I could send that and what trades would make sense. DeRozan being unrestricted, Levine's future being questionable. Is he gonna get traded? I'm just gonna go for a wing player. The best choice for Chicago is probably gonna be Cody Williams, so I'll take Cody Williams at 11.
What a player!
I'll take Cody Williams at 11.
I had him going 3, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he's what a player though.
He has all the most, if not all, of the offensive skill sets needed to succeed in the pros. From the games I watched, at times he seemed too timid to use them, but he's incredibly smooth with the ball, especially in transition. He's got the ability to just absolutely boom on people.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time that will be in transition.
Great, unreal slasher.
Yeah, great slasher. Shifty at the rim, and on defense, very, very lengthy. He's going to be very disruptive due to that, to pair with his agility, leaping ability. There's a lot of raw aspects to Cody Williams. Maybe losing your two best players. Take the young guy with raw talent, mold him into what you want, because you have young pieces all over the place with Paul, Kobe White, Dosunmu. So it might just be that time for the rebuild for Chicago. Next on the board, the number 1 seed in the West via the Houston Rockets. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder on the clock at 12.
Here I would go with Jared McCain, Mr. TikTok himself. I think he slots in very well. Just camaraderie in that locker room. I mean, he's 6'3". He's a great scorer. Great from three. He gets to the rim. He's sneaky fast too. You look at him. He's not chubby. He's stocky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's jacked either. He's muscular. The muscle is there. I honestly compare. He's built like Josh Hart.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
He's a quicker Josh Hart with more point guard skills.
Yeah.
He's gonna grab rebounds as a guard, which is insane. I think he got a couple games with 10, 11 double-digit rebounds.
A lot of people are gonna get mad at us in the comments, but I think I like that McCain pick. I personally would have went with Devin Carter. I'm sure the whole comment section is gonna say they would have went with Dillingham, so we're gonna have to fight off everybody in the comments for that one. But
a lot of yapping will happen, but that's it.
Oh yeah, of course. Coming in at number 13. Sacramento Kings. When I think Sacramento Kings, I think of a team that's ready to make a run. And the word ready is important because there's a guy that's 22, 23 years old that is NBA ready in my mind right now. That's Dalton Connect is who I'm going to send to Sacramento.
What a player.
Absolute hooper. Pure scorer. Beautiful jump shot. Beautiful finishing ability. Can create off the dribble. Like I said, his offensive skill set will be ready on day one. He's not a great ball handler, facilitator. You got Fox as your point guard. You got Sabonis, who's a top 3 passing big man in the league. So he won't have to be. And at the moment, he's not known as a good defender. However, combine results, top 2 in lane agility and shuttle run. So that seems like he has the tools. So I could see his game molding a little bit to Sacramento. I think that's the guy you need for Sacramento. You need to be ready to make that push. You could slot him right in. I'm not going to say opening night he could start, but that's a guy you could slot right in pretty quickly.
Easy.
Now Blazers with Golden State's pick at number 14.
Number 14, like I said. Scoot. We don't know what's going on with Scoot. I don't know if it's the rec specs. Might have to take those off. I don't know if it's his signature shoe. He's got too much pressure trying to perform. So I feel like the Blazers at 14, I mean, I think they'd be good drafting another guard. I got big Rob Dillingham going here. I mean, he could have went higher. I mean, I think he's sliding a little bit. I don't know. His dynamic has been weird on this board. Rob Dillingham's very shifty. He's very quick. Lightning fast. He can create his own shot. He's going to get to the rim. Honestly, if they're going to start Scoot, Dillingham could come off the bench. That was his role kind of at Kentucky. He's coming off the bench, putting up crazy numbers.
You got Scoot, and Scoot is your number 1 at this point. Yeah, like he's obviously the guy you start with.
What is Scoot's name? Do we know Scoot's name? What is Scoot's first name? Let's find out, because we're gonna have to start addressing him by his government soon. Because if he can't make the jump,
Sterling Henderson.
Sterling. Okay, so Sterling. We're gonna have to figure out Sterling because the Scoot. You might have to take away Scoot for now. He's going to have to earn Scoot.
Yeah.
Got to figure it out quickly here. Because Bobby Dillingham can take his job. Listen, one thing I got to say, just beware of the French because they're going to come again. There's going to be a bunch of Frenchmen. I'm telling you, watch out for the French.
All right, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed Nick Mosier's debut on Talk of the Town. Appreciate y'all for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Yes, sir.